My YouTube channel. This is Michael Mastro with Transformational Vedic Astrology. Today we're going to look at the legendary musician Pundit Jasraj, born in 1930 in Punjab. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Cancer rising at 8 degrees. 8 degrees becomes the most effective point of every house. Any planet, like Venus, that's within 5 degrees has a lot of impact in the chart. So first we're going to see how the planets are operating, then we'll see when the planets are operating, because not everything happens at once, and then we'll look to see what we could do to remedy the chart. So first, we want to see where the Mulchikona signs are. So many planets rule two signs, like Venus rules Taurus, the second house, and it also rules Virgo, Libra, the seventh house. So Venus is all about relationships, as well as Libra is all about relationships. So it's more connected to Libra than it is to Taurus. So we give precedence to Libra. So the Mulchikona signs are 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. So wherever these signs fall in the houses, the Mulchikona signs is what we came here to learn about in this lifetime. So you have the first sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, in the career house, very focused on achieving highly in his career. Then you have the fourth sign of Cancer, ruled by Moon, in the first house of health and longevity and life purpose, very focused on what he came here to do, to teach people, to help people. Then the fifth sign of Leo, ruled by Sun, in the second house, fame, recognition, continuation of the marital bond. Then we have the sixth sign of Virgo in the third house, success through performing arts. Then we have this seventh sign of Libra in the house of happiness through family life. Then we have the ninth sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, in the sixth house of health and healing and competition. And then we have the 11th sign of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, in the 8th house, doing research into combining different musical styles. So let's go through the planets themselves. Now, any Mulchikona sign that's in the Dustana house, the challenging houses 6, 8, or 12, becomes malefic, along with Rahu and Ketu, which are malefic for every chart. So here we see that ninth sign, ruled by Jupiter, in that sixth house of conflict, debts, health issues. And then you have Saturn in that eighth house of obstacles, delays, setbacks, and also research. So Sun is at 14 degrees. It's ruling the house of wealth and recognition and continuation of the family bond. It is in the seventh house of relationships, conjunct Venus. So we want to connect all of those different things. Sun itself is leadership. So he gets his wealth and fame through his leadership abilities, connecting with Venus, the performing arts or healing arts. So all of that's connected. Moon, and now he did get some support. His father was also a classical singer, but he died when he was very young. So then his uncle and his brother helped him. Lots of awards throughout his life, lots of fame for all the good concerts that he performed, films that he was performing in, etc. Moon is at 0 degrees, so any planet that's less than 5 degrees or more than 25 degrees is said to be in young age or old age, cannot protect or promote its own significations. It's conjunct Mercury. It's placed in the seventh house of partnerships. It's ruling that house of life purpose. So it says that his life purpose is through communicating to the public through his singing, through his music. Now, it did have some drawbacks because it's weak in his life. His mom had cancer and suffered a lot, and he had to support her when he couldn't, through her medical issues. Um, Mars is in old age. It's said to be weak also. It is ruling that career house, and it's placed in the house of competition and with enemies and health issues and conflicts. So he did struggle. He was very criticized by competitors for combining musical styles. He was criticized by people who were purists in the classical tradition. So there was some issue there. And tablas, he played the tablas, which is more of a Mars thing. So so career through courage to try new things, and even in the face of criticism from competitors, and also the musical instrument of tablas, which is beating on drums, basically. It's a very Mars kind of instrument. Then we have Mercury. Mercury is at 12 degrees. It is within 5 degrees of the most effective point. It is conjunct Moon and weak. Excuse me. Let's see. I did not do that right. Hold on 1 second. So it is actually weak, and so it's not conjunct Moon and Mars. It is conjunct only Moon. So it gives success. It is ruling this house of success through performing arts and communication. And conjunct Moon makes it for the public, performing for the public. And so, a lot of his classical contemporaries only performed for the wealthy elite. He performed for everyone. He felt that the music was owned by everyone in India or around the world. Jupiter is at 13 degrees. It's functional malefic. It is afflicting Sun and Venus. And so it brings it's in the house of income. So was some struggle with income in the very beginning. It brings some delays, some setbacks, some conflict with his peers because he was trying to teach and combine different styles of music. And this is also the house of elder brother who helped him, was also a classical singer. So elder siblings is the 11th house. Venus is at 12 degrees. It is close to the most effective point. It is conjunct Sun, and Venus is happiness through family, happiness through relationships, and it gives beautiful wife, whose father was a very famous director that gave him a lot of support in his career. Saturn's at 13 degrees. It is, it does, anyway, Saturn gives, it's fairly benign. It's not causing too many issues, and it's ruling this house of research, different, connecting divine energy with music and combining different styles, even in the face of a lot of competitors who were very critical of him. And teaching and serving others, I think. Also Saturn, this is the house of service. Saturn is the planet of service. Rahu and Ketu. So they are functional malefic planets, not close to the most effective point. They're benign. They give desire for career and spiritual family through unconventional ways of combining different musical styles. So let's look at the timing of events. This also could affect the work-home life balance. He probably was performing at lots of concerts, lots of. This also gives comforts living in foreign lands. So he did have a lot of different. K2 can give lots of different places to live. So he had lots of different residences and traveled a lot and was very comfortable living in the United States and different places in the world. So he was born during a Jupiter subperiod. That is the root of his tree of life that gives him great purpose through teaching. He got married in 1962 during a Rahu-Venus period. Venus is wife. And then you see that in August 17th, he had a heart attack and passed away at a ripe old age of 90. He was in a Saturn period. Saturn is ruling this house of death-like experiences. And if we look at the transit chart, we see that Saturn was, remember it's malefic, it was afflicting Moon. Moon is ruling the house of longevity and health. And Moon also is connected to heart. So that is basically it. Now, what could we have done to improve this chart? Well, we would want to strengthen Mars because it's weak in old age. And we would want to strengthen Mercury because it's in infant state, cannot protect or promote its own significations. We would want to strengthen Moon, also in an infant state. And then we would want to strengthen Venus. And all that can be done with a kavash. It is a silver locket containing the Devata yantras for those different things. You could also do it with a ruby, a diamond, an emerald, a pearl, and red coral. But that's a lot of stones. And trying to find, very good stones, high quality, could be quite expensive. The other things we want to do is transform the malefics because we don't want to transform them. So Saturn, Jupiter, K2, and Rahu. So Jupiter could be transformed through helping spiritual organizations, which he already was doing. Gave a lot of benefits for different religious purposes. And he also, or you could chant Ganesh mantra 108 times a day, especially on Thursdays. Then Saturn, you could strengthen by helping people who cannot help themselves, donating to cancer research, etc. Chanting Shiva chants Om Namah Shivaya 108 times on Saturdays. K2, again, Ganesh chants, helping spiritual organizations. Rahu, same thing, Shiva chants on Saturdays and helping people who cannot help themselves. Thank you for listening. If you're interested in a consultation, you can go to vastucreations.com. If you're interested in learning and becoming certified as a Vedic astrologer, you can go to American Institute of Vastu.com. Thanks again for listening. Again, my name is Michael Mastro.